All right, so after what we just saw in Michigan, you see these centrist Democrats who are now openly targeting DSA primary candidates, calling their ideas dangerous and their politics toxic. You even have James Carville, Lindy, saying he's going to leave the party if things keep going the way they are. So is that tent getting harder to hold together for the Democrats?
Absolutely, Laura, and thank you for having me. I'm one of the reasons why they're not. I was one of the people who exposed the multi-million-dollar payments that they made to celebrities, and also their extreme leftist lurch to the left. This is why donors like me left the party in droves, and this is why they are so in broke, they literally had to put up their own headquarters up as collateral. They can't even get a text back from donors. So I don't want to hear anything about a big tent. You should not be normalizing socialism like this. Socialism has been shown to have failed everywhere it's been tried. And these people, you look at the clips, they look like they're being held hostage. Chuck Schumer knows that if he doesn't say what he just did, AOC is going to primary him. So he's trying to race her to the bottom. It's just ridiculous. And Americans already rejected it in 2024.
Yeah, I think big tent is maybe we should translate that for the Democrats. Maybe it means they know their party is in trouble. I want to talk about what you just brought up, because the DNC right now is more than $2 million in debt. And as you said, that is after they leveraged their headquarters as collateral for a $15 million loan last year. Some donors have actually joked that DNC stands for do not contribute, Lindy. You compare that, by the way, to the RNC. They've got a war chest of nearly $130 million. What do you make of this disparity in the cash, and how important is that going to be not only for these midterms, but as we head to 2028?
Laura, that's completely correct. As a former member of the National Finance Committee, I know that these people view donating to a political party as a business proposition. They are not going to be throwing good money after bad. After Kamala Harris burnt $2.5 billion in just 7 weeks, $1.5 billion through her campaign, of which I raised tens of millions. And there's another billion for the Future Forward PAC. There's been no accountability. The autopsy that they sent out was basically a sham, and they couldn't even stand behind it. They didn't even mention the fact that Kamala Harris is a terrible candidate. And also they lied about Biden's melting brain for the past, 6 years. And I want to give a lot of credit to you. I remember distinctly when Jake Tapper went after you for simply telling the truth. He lambasted you on national TV. To this day, he hasn't really, justified him. He's now monetizing his lies through a book. Welcome to the Democratic Party. There's no accountability and no sense of patriotism and rejecting what is obviously wrong, which is socialism.
Yeah. And, the money does matter, as as we all know, in elections and in campaigns. It really does matter. The Democrats are certainly hurting. They are also hurting, though, if you look at recent polling, with male voters. They are struggling. If you look at where men were leading up to 2024, where they are now, is this a messaging problem, a policy problem, or is this something bigger with the Democrat Party that you have men saying, we're not so sure?
Well, this is a party that basically condoned men with fake breasts on the sacred South Lawn of the White House. The same administration that had a transgender flag draped around the sacrosanct pillars of the People's House. How can any patriotic man support that? It's absolutely unconscionable. It's the same group of people who say that biological men can play in women's sports, that it's okay to hijack the athletic futures of women and girls. It's okay for these men to be in women's bathrooms. I don't think so. And so people like me who have common sense, who love our country, who recognize that America remains the best country on the face of the planet, they cannot abide by this party any longer. It is simply untenable. And that is why donors are leaving in droves. That is why the American people they hate the Democratic Party. They might like some candidates, but they reject Ken Martin and his band of incompetent hacks.
Well, looking ahead to 2028, you have Kamala Harris, you've got Gavin Newsom, Pete Buttigieg, and AOC, and that's leaving a lot to be desired. And it doesn't seem to be enough to pull either effectively, pull together and take on these socialists. It seems like maybe they're going to have to champion this radical agenda. So with this field of Democrats out there, do they really stand a chance in upcoming elections, Lindy?
They absolutely don't. And I look forward to congratulating, President Rubio, President Vance, or whoever it is on our side. These people are clowns. I know all of them. Kamala Harris is living in fantasy land. To think that big donors would bet on her again. She's crazy. She should go enjoy her, the $8 million mansion on Malibu, despite the fact that she belongs to the party of climate change. She's literally living on the ocean. She should just go away because the American people do not want her agenda. They don't want the cackle hyena laugh either. And Pete Buttigieg, by the way, he got a 0% support from Black voters. Black voters are the bedrock of the Democratic Party. You really think he's going to advance? And AOC, basically a communist? Yeah, I don't think so. They don't really have anyone. And Gavin Newsom is under DOJ investigation. And how dare he blame President Trump?